All right, good afternoon from good old Graybeard, and welcome back to the Master of the Metaverse. First time viewers, don't miss out. Okay, hit those likes and hit those subscribe buttons. Here we like to remind what free minds can do. This is episode 47 and live stream number 5, and we are just around the corner from completing year number 1 of my channel here at the Master of the Metaverse. I want to say thank you to all my viewers and current subscribers. We're just getting started here. We dive further into the world of NFTs. Okay, I do believe that NFTs is the latest world-changing technology. Okay, that we all can gain passive income from. Okay, just like cell phones, internet. All right, so if we all pay attention, things are going to get very, very interesting. Here in the Discord, I'm posting all the articles about the Metaverse. As you can see here, the Metaverse is heading into the workplace, and the latest one, the Metaverse will revolutionize the music industry. And I posted those because I just did videos about that, and bam, now articles are coming out about it. And so but please, if you have anything interesting about the Metaverse, please post it right here on the Discord. But let's go to amateurs versus pros. We're going to go to Graybeard's, good old Graybeard's take on what NFTs are after doing his own research.
So guys, what we're talking about today are NFTs. What the freak are NFTs? Non-fungible tokens. The word fungible means replaceable. Non-replaceable tokens. In the real world, people call it non-replaceable items. There's tons of non-replaceable items. Mona Lisas, the pyramids, whatever. There's all kinds of non-replaceable items out there, okay? And guys, if you dig into these sources, you're going to see that NFTs are the main reason why people are going to make money with this metaverse concept. That's not necessarily just a concept. It's just a concept to people like you and I, but it's been going on already, guys. And so the best way to explain NFTs, there's different ways of talking about it. It could be a certificate of authenticity. It's unique, just like a Mona Lisa. And in these digital spaces now, they're also, becoming unique. But, the best way to explain it, guys, is just talk about art. Art is the best way to explain NFTs and why NFTs are making so much dang money, okay? So go back, guys, about, 400, 500 years, okay? It's a big rock. Somebody, smoothed it out, made it beautiful, fantastic, big naked man, right? Okay, and then what happened is someone, after they finished it, they came up and took a screwdriver and a bam, and they took it, wow, they ripped it off. Okay, and then very, very shortly after that, you guys, a small community came together. They all had a discussion. And they decided, that this was valuable. This was expression. They somehow, concluded that, stone carved, broke, and I'm gonna tell you, is worth 18 million. And they're talking about how it's a non-replaceable item. What item? Who? How? Like, who decides that the pain and discomfort is art? You know what I mean? You're like, what'd you do, bro? Dang. So guys, human beings are weird, right? We're weird. Look at me, like we're weird, guys. Like when our necessities are taken care of, like food, water, shelter, and status, human beings put value to things that don't have any value, and there's plenty of examples in this for centuries, guys. The problem is not how sick we can get. The problem is how healthy we actually are, because we've been a thriving virus in this planet for thousands of years, okay, millions, whatever. And so, guys, human beings, we've done some great things, but, time and history has also shown that human beings will go through anything like Lotus, to satisfy their needs, it's sad but true, but, it's gone as far as deeming that stone carved, broke, not gonna tell you, is 18 million. Okay. Guys, I'm just trying to paint a picture here, right, of why NFTs are so important. I'm using art to explain why NFTs are so valuable in this world. It's kind of ironic, okay? But But guys, this is where NFTs are right now. I don't want to go into the details. I'm just trying to filter through all this things through Dumb and Dumber here, right? So you guys can kind of, I'm an interpreter. I could be wrong, okay? But NFTs right now are brand new, okay? But they're associated with buku bucks, all right? But the reason why, because it's an open market. It's still brand new. There's a lot of big bettors out there that are willing to put down buku bucks. Why? Because they can lose buku bucks and not worry about this last couple mail day, you know. So they're not worried about it, you know. But if it works out, their investment comes up 1,000-fold. Okay, guys, NFTs are we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention because they're going to be a game changer. You know, it's no longer one person making a code on a screen. You guys, okay, you got to get over it. You know, it's a digital space now where communities are involved, and they're adding augmented realities to digital space, artificial intelligence, if you believe it or not, and it's just happening, guys. Smart people doing all this stuff, and so you gotta understand where it's headed. Everyone's gonna have their own little personal metaverse. It's your own world beyond. You guys, like we talked about last week, it's beyond us, right? And so just like you have your smartphone, right? Just like you have your own smartphone with its own personal apps, your pictures, your apps, your books, your stuff, you know, that's what your metaverse is going to look like. It's going to be your own little, you know, same thing, the same shops, your Nikes, your Amazon, your whatever it is, guys, the same thing. It's not like there's like crazy stuff here, guys. It's the same thing that we already know, just improved. That's what NFTs are. So
All right. Excellent. Well, like always, I apologize, but like I said, that's the amateur version. That's what my take is on NFTs. Okay, but what I want to introduce to everybody now is the NFT Handbook. Okay, by Matt Fortnow and Hugh Terrison Harry. Again, now this is the professionals. This is where I'm getting most of my knowledge about NFTs. I know I'm dramatic and I turn it into something different, like I told you. But I really hope if you are watching this or if you come across this video, I'm going to go ahead and play the first few chapters of the audio book of the NFT Handbook, okay? And if you're in your car or if you're whatever it is that you're doing, please, I'm just going to go ahead and press play. And if you're watching, I'm going to set it aside with a screenshot, okay? But if you're just listening, please take the time to listen to these words. I'm just going to press play the first few chapters. It might be about 20 minutes to a half an hour, but it's going to help me gain some watch time on my live streams, but more importantly, it's going to give you the information that I believe people need to start listening to, okay, and paying attention to. So to give me 1 second, let me go ahead and make the setup, and we're going to start the NFT Handbook. Excellent, excellent. Here it is. All right, that's right. Get busy living or get busy dying. And we're going to go ahead and press play, set it up. You can't see this now. This is fine. Make sure you guys can hear this good. You need to hear it. You need to hear it. All right. I'll be back. But for now, you need to listen up.
Focus on one thing. Their creations. Musicians spend months searching for perfect harmony or lyrics. Architects belabor the most minute details on their building plans, and painters search for the ideal place for their last stroke. But once they finish their masterpieces, successful artists must also figure out how to monetize them while likewise protecting their provenance and future value. That's where the intermediary comes in. Content creators of all kinds, including musicians, podcasters, painters, writers, performers, directors, and composers, are typically forced to use an intermediary to share their creations with the world. Whether it's the art gallery, the music label, or the concert promoter, these functionaries all promise artists the ability to monetize their work in exchange for a healthy cut of the profits, and sometimes even ownership of the artist's work. Although not all intermediaries are bad, some have made headlines in recent years for the underhanded deals they've struck with their clients. Taylor Swift has spoken out about the unfair contract she signed as a teenager and how her music was sold multiple times without her knowledge or consent. musicians like Prince and Michael Jackson were known for feuding with their record labels too. In recent years, technology platforms like Spotify have offered some hope of disintermediation. However, as the platforms evolved, artists have learned that their economics have been reduced, not enhanced. So it's no wonder that the creative community has long sought a way to regain control and ownership of their valuable creative assets. Enter the NFT, a tool that allows creators to bypass the intermediary altogether. Understanding how to harness NFT technology can put creators back in the driver's seat. At first glance, NFTs are shrouded in cryptocurrency jargon, scaring off anyone without a computer science degree. But they're relatively simple. They're a way for artists to embed a snippet of code into their works so that they can share them without fear of piracy and with the security that they will be paid directly by their supporters and fans in perpetuity. This gives them back control of their intellectual property with enhanced transparency while tracking and distributing payments to the creator for royalties and sales. One of the most valuable parts of NFTs is the way that they allow a community to form and participate in supporting something in which they believe. In 2000, I went to my first concert in New York City to see one of my favorite bands, U2. Had they been selling NFTs that night, I might just be hodling it for life. Imagine having been one of the first 100 fans of U2, or having gone to a basement show and bought an NFT of a song from the next David Bowie before they blew up. The early supporters are rewarded, the artists are paid, and the community grows stronger. It's clear now that NFTs are not only here to stay, but that they stand to radically transform the creative and content industries. As a result, investing in this market is no longer a fringe idea, but rather a core strategy for anybody who wants to participate in the creative economy in a meaningful way. As an attorney who has devoted my professional career to understanding how to securitize and monetize assets in a compliant way, NFTs represent a tremendous opportunity for those who understand them. The best time to get on the NFT bandwagon was in 2020, but the second best time is right now. That's why I'm so excited that Q Harrison, Terry, and Matt Fortnow have decided to build this straightforward educational tool, opening up the possibilities of NFTs to the millions of people who make their living in creative fields. This book affords those creatives a real path to controlling their own destiny. This book is likely to become a Bible for a brewing revolution. It takes a visionary to see the future and to understand how to make it a reality. Q Harrison Terry is that visionary. He's also a businessman who began selling digital art online in 2014 and has seen firsthand how transformative this knowledge can be. Matt Fortnow has been at the forefront of the internet revolution since his early days as an entrepreneur who built his first internet company back in 1996, and he understands the bleeding edge of technology. Their combined experience and conviction about the future of NFTs speaks for itself. There are no two individuals more qualified to write this book. As the CEO and co-founder of Republic, a company that also aims to demystify some of the financial world and to give people the power to invest in the future, we've gotten used to the criticism that comes with innovation. When we first started to apply traditional investment principles to crypto, some onlookers thought that we were out of our minds. Time and again, we have seen that what seems crazy today will seem normal tomorrow. And we all wish we invested when things seemed crazy and out of favor. The same can certainly be said for NFTs. I cannot wait for the future that this book and this technology will bring us to. It's not if, but when. Kendrick Wynn, CEO and co-founder of Republic. Chapter 1. Introduction to NFTs. By many accounts, Google was late to the search engine game. Founded in 1998, it was the 24th search engine to come onto the scene. What's Google 24th at now? Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the co-founders of Google, focused on differentiating their search engine and creating a compelling product from the outset. monetizing the search engine was an afterthought. Search engines are all about connecting people from a query to a destination. It's a game of understanding the user's intent. What do they want to find? Ideally, the engine gets it right on the first search result. Otherwise, you're forcing the user to do the hard work of finding what they're looking for. Google's revolutionary idea was PageRank, a ranking system that prioritized web pages by social proof. The more that other domains linked to a web page, the higher it ranked on Google's search results because there was social proof from other users that it was a helpful resource. Google's indexing method was in stark contrast to other search engines, which ranked pages by analyzing the page's content for keyword density. Backed by this superior theory of ranking the web's content, Google showed promise of having a better utility than any other search engine of the time. It also attracted the attention of computing pioneers. Before Google was even incorporated, it received its first investment of $100,000 from Andy Bechtolsheim, co-founder of Sun Microsystems, a legend in the world of computing. Google rounded out this investment in 1998 with money from 3 other angel investors, including Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, Stanford University computer science professor David Sheridan, and entrepreneur Ram Shriram. Page and Brin were just a couple of smart kids from Stanford trying to solve a problem on the internet. Their laser focus on creating a great product that understood the user's search intent was the utility that they brought to the world. The utility they made was enough to attract attention from some of the biggest names in tech. It wasn't until 2 years later that they would finally incorporate AdWords into their search engine and monetize their traffic. We see a lot of similarities when comparing those early internet days with early non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. The vast majority of NFTs have no utility beyond investment speculation, in much the same way that Ask Jeeves and Yahoo Search were simply joining in on the action of search engines with no real differentiation. And because we're in the early days of NFTs, these directionless projects can get a lot of attention, even though there's no use case for them. However, as time passes, we'll see a greater focus on NFTs with utility, tokenized projects solving a problem or creating something unique for users. Those projects that lack a use case will miss out on the real money to be made a few years from now. Take, for example, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. The founders have created 10,000 Bored Ape NFTs that act as membership cards into the Internet Yacht Club. Right now, this membership card gives you access to a digital bathroom where you can take a pen and draw, write, or graffiti on the walls every 15 minutes. It sounds insignificant, but it's a unique experience. They've carved out this digital environment reserved only for the Bored Ape NFT owners. Yes, the Bored Apes are collectibles in essence, but it's the access and the utility that they provide that excites us for the future of this project. Access might be the most significant use case of NFTs currently. In other words, to what does owning an NFT grant you access? We're surely going to see the utility of NFTs go way beyond this, especially considering the wide variety and diversity of people getting into NFTs right now. There are so many exciting individuals with all types of ideas coming together to collaborate and create magical experiences. Now is the time for experimentation, collaborating with others, and not working in a silo. This book is a product of 2 people experimenting with NFTs in their respective fields and starting a random conversation that ballooned into so much more. Hugh Harrison Terry was working on selling the WorldStar hip-hop chain NFT and creating liquidity for pop culture-focused NFTs. Matt Fortnow created the official Three Stooges NFTs and contemplated how iconic intellectual property could exist as NFTs. Let's rewind the tape back to the early Internet 1.0 days, 1995. Matt practiced entertainment law in New York City when a few fraternity brothers from Carnegie Mellon University recruited him to start an internet company. They founded Commissioner.com, the web's first fantasy sports service, which they sold to CBS Sportsline in 1999. Always looking to develop uses for new technologies, Matt got heavily involved in blockchain in 2015, virtual reality, augmented reality, or VR/AR in 2016, and NFTs in 2020. It's actually through the VR/AR connection that he met Q Harrison. Q Harrison recalls, "I got a call one day from a friend who said I had to talk with this Matt Fortnow guy. This was at the early peak of NFT hype in March 2021, so I was used to talking with many people about a lot of NFT ideas every day. The conversation took on a life of its own and went on for a couple of hours. We were just riffing about how NFTs were all about sales and liquidity, the possibilities of tokenizing IP and revenue streams, and just having a fun time sharing ideas. By the end of the conversation, we were like, yeah, we need to write a book on this. And that's how a marketer and an attorney turned entrepreneur came to write a book on NFTs. Literally a chance conversation around this shared culture of NFTs. And I think that's the beauty of this space right now. At the precipice of any new technology, it's prime for collaborations between people of different backgrounds. It may feel like you're late to NFTs, but you're actually early in the grand scheme of things because we just haven't seen all the use cases of this technology yet. For reference, there were only about 130,000 active users on OpenSea, the largest NFT marketplace, in August 2021. With more than 4 billion people who have access to the internet worldwide, we're nowhere near the exciting times of NFTs. If Page and Brin thought they were late to the internet in 1998, we wouldn't have the most effective and intuitive search engine that we have today. But they looked at the emerging internet technologies around them and had a theory on how it could be done better. That's where we're at with NFTs today. Take the information in the NFT handbook as a starting point for your NFT journey. We'll take you through the history of NFTs, to the basics of creating and collecting NFTs, to marketing your NFTs, and much more. There are many people talking about NFTs and sharing their thoughts, their strategies, and their ideas. Use this book as a launchpad to go out and learn more about what interests you about NFTs. Equipped with what you've learned in this book, start connecting with people in the NFT ecosystem. There are many NFT communities on Twitter, Clubhouse, Discord, Instagram, and other internet destinations with people just like you who want to connect and learn from each other. At this stage in the lifespan of NFTs, it pays to communicate, experiment, and collaborate. Ultimately, in the canon of NFTs, we don't know whether the current NFT projects we're seeing will be more akin to InfoSeek, one of the earliest search engines not around today, or Google, late to the game but created a superior product that stands even stronger today. We've also created the NFThandbook.com with extensive resources and links. Since the NFT space is ever evolving, the website will feature ongoing updated information. As we dive in, your first question may be, what are NFTs? Chapter 2. What are NFTs? Even before you think about non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, which in their most basic form are unique digital collectibles secured by the blockchain, you must understand how collectibles work. Perhaps the following eclectic Beanie Babies parable will clarify the erratic and eccentric psychology behind why we collect. Why people collect. Before NFTs, there were Beanie Babies. From stamps to Civil War weapons to sneakers, people collect many different objects in various formats. So it should come as no surprise that there is a market for collectibles in a digital form. Conceptually, it's confusing, but on the sheer basis of wanting to own a unique item that others do not have, digital collectibles vary little from their physical counterparts. Therefore, to understand why people collect NFTs, we'll draw a comparison to a physical collectible that took the world by storm in the 1990s. Beanie Babies. From its inception in 1993, Ty Warner, the founder of Beanie Babies, built scarcity into his product. The plush toys were distributed in small quantities to small retailers, avoiding chain retailers and large orders altogether. Ty didn't want people to be able to find or buy every Beanie Baby they wanted. The company kept the number of Beanie Babies in circulation a secret. It retired the production of certain Beanie Babies to create more exclusivity. It intentionally let misprints and faulty Beanie Babies through the cracks, which would become extra rare editions of the toys. Around the same time as the Beanie Babies' rise in the public consciousness, eBay emerged and positioned itself as the online marketplace for buying and selling collectibles worldwide. It was a synergistic relationship that ballooned the resale value of Beanie Babies and validated eBay as a valuable tool for speculators in all collectibles markets. Those lucky enough to get their hands on one of the retired $5 plushies could, at minimum, see a 2- or 3-fold return by listing it on eBay. Some rarer misprints, such as the Pinchers the Lobster misprint as Punchers the Lobster, yielded one collector more than $10,000. The Beanie Babies craze was in full swing toward the end of the 1990s. Robberies and even murders ensued over the pursuit of the plush toys. For example, at a Hallmark store in West Virginia in 1999, a security guard was shot and killed when tensions were high due to a late shipment of Beanie Babies. Sane adults searched far and wide for the chance to get a single life-changing Beanie Baby. One set of divorcees battled over who got the Beanie Babies collection, believing it was the most valuable asset that the two had to divvy up. Then, in 1997, McDonald's got in on the craze with Ty Inc. Together, they launched the Teeny Beanies product line in McDonald's Happy Meals and proceeded to sell 100 million of the mini plush toys in just 10 days. Magazines such as Mary Beth's Beanie World, which sold 650,000 copies a month at its height, published entire spreads on Beanie Babies, discussing their value as a speculative investment which, with the right strategy, could yield more than enough to send a kid to college. Just when Beanie Babies seemed to be a collectible that would carry on for decades, it all came crashing down. Talk of their overvaluation sparked an avalanche of Beanie Babies hoarders to list their toys on eBay, causing a significant oversupply. In turn, the price of Beanie Babies plummeted. Seemingly overnight, people's collections of presumed valuable Beanie Babies became nearly worthless. The story of Chris Robinson Sr., the man who spent more than $100,000 on Beanie Babies for the speculative investment, became the symbol for the crushing defeat that this collectible market experienced. The Financial Times aptly called Beanie Babies the dot-com stock of the soccer mom world in the second half of the 1990s. We don't draw this comparison to say that NFTs are doomed to the same fate as Beanie Babies, that is, a collectible bubble bound to burst. Instead, Beanie Babies provide an excellent look into the dynamics of why people collect. The same basic principle that drove people to collect Beanie Babies drives people to collect NFTs: scarcity. Although other factors drive collectors to collect, such as investment, speculation, emotional connection, the fear of missing out or FOMO, and the thrill of the hunt, at the core of collecting is scarcity. No matter what we collect, we do so because there are a limited number of those things. Could the NFT market crash? Anything is possible, but unlike Beanie Babies, NFTs provide real-world solutions to problems plaguing the art and collectibles markets, as we discuss in Chapter 3, Why NFTs Have Value. Now that we've addressed why people collect, whether it's physical or digital collectibles, let's dive into the topic at hand: NFTs. What exactly are NFTs? NFTs are generally known as a particular type of digital collectible, such as digital art from Beeple, a digital trading card from Rob Gronkowski, a short video from Saturday Night Live, a picture of fortune-telling Curly of the Three Stooges with an unlockable Curly-esque fortune, or one of the crypto kitties. But what exactly are NFTs? NFTs are unique items verified and secured by a blockchain, the same technology used for cryptocurrencies. An NFT provides authenticity of origin, ownership, uniqueness or scarcity, and permanence for any particular item. Let's break the term non-fungible token down a piece at a time. Tokens. Let's start with the word token. According to dictionary.com, one of the definitions of token is a memento, souvenir, keepsake. Since NFTs are commonly known as digital collectibles, one might think that token in NFT is derived from this definition. Although it may apply, somewhat, the token in NFT is derived from something entirely different. The blockchain. Some of you may be fretting. Oh no, here comes the technical part. I just want to know what an NFT is. To understand completely what an NFT is, you need to learn a little about blockchain. We promise not to make it too complicated. You've probably heard of Bitcoin and perhaps some other cryptocurrencies. According to Investopedia, a cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is secured by cryptography. Just know that cryptocurrencies are digital currencies that exist on the internet. You can buy and sell them for investment purposes, buy things with them, or even stake them, essentially lending them to earn interest. Whenever someone transacts with a cryptocurrency, whether buying, selling, transferring, staking, or purchasing something with cryptocurrency, the transaction must be verified. The verification process determines whether the sender has the amount of cryptocurrency being sent. This is what keeps a cryptocurrency secure and reliable. When cryptocurrency transactions are verified, for example, with Bitcoin, the verification is conducted on a group of transactions, not a single transaction. This batch of cryptocurrency transactions is known as a block. Each block has a certain storage capacity. After the block is filled and the transactions have been confirmed, the block of transactions is then appended to the previously verified block, creating an ever-growing chain of blocks, a blockchain. The process repeats, and the blockchain grows longer and longer. See Figure 2.1. So, the blockchain of a cryptocurrency is a list of all transactions, every single one of that currency, going all the way back to the beginning of that cryptocurrency. Every time someone buys or sells Bitcoin, buys something with Bitcoin, exchanges Bitcoin, or transfers Bitcoin, that transaction is listed on the Bitcoin blockchain. The number of daily Bitcoin transactions reached around 400,000 in January 2021, and Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency, was processed more than 1.1 million times per day, according to Statista.com. Think of a blockchain as an extremely long accounting ledger. Coin versus token. When speaking about certain cryptocurrencies, people often use the terms coin and token interchangeably. But that would be wrong, because there is an important distinction. Cryptocurrencies that are coins, such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Ethereum, have their own respective blockchains. In contrast, tokens are cryptocurrencies that don't have their own blockchains. Instead, tokens utilize another coin's blockchain. For example, game credits, or game, and sushi token, or sushi, among thousands of others, are tokens that use the Ethereum blockchain. Cryptocurrency tokens that exist on the Ethereum blockchain are also known as ERC20 tokens. ERC20 is the Ethereum standard for creating cryptocurrency tokens. Game credits is an interesting case because it was initially a coin with its own blockchain. But to take advantage of the greater functionality that the Ethereum network offers, it switched to become an ERC20 token. So, now all game credits transactions and all other ERC20 token transactions are recorded on the Ethereum blockchain. This is the reason why Ethereum processes so many transactions a day. So, the token in NFT is a cryptocurrency token. An NFT exists on a blockchain. Currently, most NFTs are created on and live on the Ethereum blockchain. Some NFTs are created on and exist on Wax, the Binance Smart Chain, and some other blockchains. Non-fungible. So, we've got the token part down. Now let's turn to non-fungible. What does fungible mean? According to dictionary.com, fungible is an adjective that means especially of goods, being of such nature or kind as to be freely exchangeable or replaceable in whole or in part, for another of like nature or kind. Let's start with some examples. Dollars are fungible. If we give you a $5 bill and you give us back 5 $1 bills, the exchange value is equal. It doesn't matter which dollar bills you gave us. Say that you had a stack of $1 bills. You could give us any 5 of them and it wouldn't matter. You could even Venmo us $5. The fact is that dollars are entirely interchangeable. Similarly, cryptocurrencies are fungible. If you send us a Bitcoin, we don't care what wallet it came from. A Bitcoin is a Bitcoin, just like a dollar is a dollar. Even some goods or commodities, as the previous definition points out, such as barrels of oil, are considered fungible. It doesn't matter which barrels you send me. Any barrel of oil of the same grade would do. Using the previous definition, it seems evident that non-fungible items can't be freely exchanged or replaced by similar items. For example, diamonds are non-fungible. Each diamond is unique in size, color, clarity, and cut. If you bought a particular diamond, it would not be easily interchangeable with another diamond. Likewise, NFTs are non-fungible. Each NFT is unique. You cannot freely exchange or replace one NFT for another. But what makes each NFT unique? After all, isn't it easy to download, copy, and share images from the internet? Yes, but you can take a photo, or preferably create an image, and mint that image into a token that exists on a blockchain. We use the term mint like minting a physical coin. When cryptocurrency coins and tokens are created, they are minted. Usually, millions or even billions of coins or tokens are mined or minted for a particular cryptocurrency. Generally, a cryptocurrency has a circulating supply, the number of coins or tokens already minted, and a max or maximum supply, the total number of coins that can be minted. The max supply amount is baked into the original code that created the cryptocurrency and cannot be altered. Contrast this with a fiat currency, such as the US dollar, the supply of which can be continually inflated by printing more dollars. As more dollars are printed, the value of each dollar decreases, assuming that the demand for dollars remains the same. Thus, there is no max supply of dollars or other fiat currencies. Bitcoin has a max supply of 21 million coins, whereas Uniswap, or Uni, an ERC20 token, for example, has a max supply of 1 billion tokens. Each NFT functions like a cryptocurrency, but NFTs have a max supply of 1. That's what makes NFTs unique and non-fungible. They cannot be freely exchanged with something of like kind because there is nothing of like kind. Think of an NFT like an original painting. There's only one. There can be copies of a painting or prints made, but there's only one original. Even though we just said that an NFT has a max supply of 1, it is possible to mint an NFT with a supply greater than 1. For example, you could mint 100 copies of the same NFT. Technically, it's one NFT of 100 tokens. Each of the tokens could be exchangeable with the other tokens of the same NFT because they would be the same in every respect. Although these multi-token NFTs are considered NFTs, we would not technically refer to them as NFTs because they are fungible, albeit with a limited supply, but they are still fungible. We need to distinguish between a multi-token NFT and a limited edition or series of NFTs of a particular design. For example, Rob Gronkowski issued 4 series of NFTs, the design of each series representing one of his football championships. Each series has 87, being the number of his jersey, editions, and each NFT is individually marked 1 out of 87, all the way up to 87 of 87. Similarly, the Three Stooges NFT series, All Stooge Team, is an edition of 30 individually marked NFTs. Figure 2.2 shows number 19 in that series. Albeit part of a series of 30, the NFT pictured in Figure 2.2 is a unique token with a supply of 1, which indeed makes it an NFT. Similarly, each of Gronk's NFTs are also unique NFTs. One can make an analogy of such limited edition individually marked NFTs to a series of prints of a painting that are also individually sequentially marked. Whereas an analogy to the multi-token NFT could be a statue that is cast from a mold a limited number of times, and then the mold is broken. Each statue is an original, but also identical to the other statues from the mold. If each statue is sequentially marked, making each one unique, then this analogy would not be applicable in this case. Edition numbers can have different valuations. With physical art prints, we generally assign the greatest value to the first edition of the print series, that is, edition 1 of 500. However, with NFTs, the driver of edition valuations can vary. For example, with the NBA Top Shots NFTs, it's common for the edition number that matches the player's jersey number in that specific NFT to be the most valuable edition. For LeBron James, edition number 23 is often the most valuable, as is edition number 77 with Luka Doncic, or edition number 11 with Kyrie Irving. Absent such an alternate value driver, edition 1 would likely achieve the highest value, like an art print. Also, note that in the Rob Gronkowski and the Three Stooges NFT editions, each individually numbered NFT had to be minted separately. In the case of a multi-token NFT, all of the tokens of that NFT are created in one minting.
Holy moly. Okay. Well, look, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I really hope that you took the time and even took some notes. I know I was going over the main points. And what I thought was interesting was saying, because what's crazy today always is normal tomorrow. And that's what's happening with NFTs. Very similar to the internet websites a long time ago. I don't know. So what was he talking about? Let's go back to bam. The book was talking about the Rob Gronkowski Championship Series NFTs. All right, let's zoom in for the viewers so you guys can read as well. Oh, zoom in. The Rob Gronkowski Championship Series NFT collection will commemorate Gronk's 4 historic championships with 4 limited edition NFTs. Each NFT is a unique piece of memorabilia digitally hand-signed and numbered by Gronk, limited to just 87 editions to each NFT. Each edition will be minted on the blockchain, and the series will never be replicated. Collect all 4 NFTs to complete the full Rob Gronkowski Championship Series NFT set. In addition, the crown jewel of the drop will be a rare one-of-one Rob Gronkowski career highlight NFT. Holy moly. Now, what else are they talking about? The next generation collectibles for the NBA's biggest fans. NBA Top Shot. Look at these new NFTs that you can have. Holy snap. You can own the highlight. Play alongside this season to build your ultimate collection of officially licensed NBA video highlights. This is crazy, folks. Like I said, it used to be just playing cards, Upper Deck, and all this other nonsense in the past. Came bubble gum. Okay, nope. Look at it today. Okay, flawless, authentic, limited editions. Play alongside live NBA and WNBA games. All right. A collection that stays with you. Okay, unlike traditional memorabilia, your NBA and WNBA Top Shot moments last forever and can be enjoyed anywhere you go. And that is different from a card that you have to keep in a plastic or keep in a binder or do all this nonsense we used to do for our comic cards. No. Now you can authenticate it off the blockchain and you can keep it crisp, keep it good, okay? So, the NBA, players in the NFL are all getting involved in the NFT space. Let's go to the marketplace real quick to show you exactly the same thing. You can see in my videos, the NFTs here, legendary, rare, random, and common. Alright, it can go by player. Get your LeBron James. Get your freaking Kevin, whatever his name is. You know, Luke, all these guys, Kyrie, all the top guys, okay? And you can get it by, look, the sets. Here are your new sets. You no longer are you opening up plastic bags at the grocery store or the gas station. You know, now you're buying the digital set and getting the good stuff, okay? Now these NFTs come with different perks like access passes and other things. That's what makes them different. They're digital stamps, so they're almost like tickets as well. So that's what makes NFTs interessante. Now obviously that same thing here, I posted that here on my Discord right here, okay? The Gronk Championship NFTs and also NBA Top Shot. You can find those articles and you can find it right here in my Discord, okay? But also to give a further explanation. Now I couldn't do the phone cast due to security reasons, which I like that. My VV wallet would not allow me to add another network to so anyways, unfortunately we have to watch another video to show you one of my digital collectibles. I'm proud of this one, okay? Just to kind of show you the future of you know, it used to be, you know, I had all these, you know, G.I. Joes or whatever on the shelf. You had to come over to come see it, okay? No, not anymore. It's different. Now I can share you my digital collectible. I can take a picture with it. I can send it into a showroom. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff, okay? But I'm just gonna just to give you guys a further idea of what the future of digital collectibles is. Let's go to another video. Let's go to Metatron versus Voltron. Here is Voltron, okay? Voltron versus Metatron. I'm getting excited. I'm getting nervous to see if this works before we lose this. Oh, see? Oh my God. Let's get a good close. Now stop with the crotch close-ups. See if this works. Okay. Let's back up here. Give me. Oh, you guys don't want to see that. Oh, Voltron versus the Metatron. Okay, this is really weird. I just want to show you guys this augmented reality business with my Voltron NFT. Okay, Metatron ain't appreciate Voltron taking over here. Easy on the crotch shots. We're trying to. This is freaking me out. That's what happened. Okay. Jeez, bro. Let's take a picture. Can we take a picture? Ooh, who knows what that is? Only we know what that is. This is Voltron versus Metatron NFT. He was all over it. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't go away. He was all over my stuff. I have to wipe off my stuff here. We got a lot of Voltron crotch going on. I even got a picture of it. Who else has Voltron crotch? Have a good day, folks. I apologize for my behavior, okay? Mr. Jonathan Lozano, thank you for watching. Thank you. I'm brand new with this, YouTube live stream business, okay? But I will definitely go over your Metaverse project because I'm all about the Metaverse here at the Master of the Metaverse. So thank you for commenting. Thank you for saying hello. Please, at any time, leave a comment, leave a question. Send me some homework. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. Send me out. Let me know where I need to look at. So I can make sure that people know the truth. Okay. So thank you. So if you are late, if you feel like you are late to the NFT space, I don't think that you are. Okay. I think we are still in the infancy stage of NFTs. So this is not financial advice, but Graybeard has a suggestion. Either get yourself an NFT or learn how to mint yourself your own NFT for your own passion. Okay, so I just want to remind everybody that the only thing that matters in this world is not how much money you have or how funny you are or what car you drive. The only thing that matters in this world is how we treat other people, okay? And also remember that if you want something different, that you have to dare to do something different, okay? So until next time, peace be the journey, and one love.